Hello class, welcome to another session of our Unit 1 Definitions of Religion. Now this session is going to concentrate on the moral definitions of religion. Be aware that we've already established the theological definitions of religion. So this session is going to be based on the moral definitions of religion. Now by the end of the session, you will be able to 1. Identify a moral definition of religion from its central criterion. 2. Explain the central criterion of a moral definition. 3. Discuss some of the moral definitions. And 4. Evaluate moral definitions in the context of bringing out the meaning of religion. Now to the central criterion of moral definitions. Be aware that we've already established the meaning of central criterion. That is the standard by which something is being judged or a decision is being made. Now, let's see the moral definition. Cox defines a moral definition thus. A moral definition makes the central criterion of religion a code of correct behavior. So a moral definition makes the central criterion of religion a code of correct behavior affirmed by believers as having its source in an unquestioned and unquestionable authority. The standard of measuring moral definition involves a code of conduct deemed authoritative by group members, defining right, that's the do's, and the wrongs, that's the don'ts, behaviors, and to be followed by all members. Consequently, behaviors regarded to be right, that's the do's, and the wrong, that's the don'ts, are defined for the group, and this ought to be obeyed by all members. So, according to the moral definition of religion, the central criterion is the code of conduct. Now, what is the code of conduct? The code of conduct is simply the do's and the don'ts of the religion. So as we established in our previous session as a theological definition, we saw that the central criterion for that theological definition was the supreme being or the supernatural deity. But with this session, that's the moral definition, we are saying that the central criterion is being based on the code of conduct. So in this sense, there is no supernatural deity. There is a code of conduct, and this code of conduct includes the rights and the wrongs, that's the do's and the don'ts. And this code of conduct followed by the members of the group, of the specific group. Now, examples of moral definitions. Among these definitions are 1. Religion is leading a good life. This is by Cox, says that Ferguson credits this to a schoolgirl. 2. Religion is morality touched with emotion by Matthew Arnold. 3. Religion is the recognition of all our duties as divine command. This is by Immanuel Kant. 4. Religion is a sum of scruples which impede the free use of our faculties. This is by Cox. Again, says that Ferguson attributes this to Solomon Reinach. Now, let's try and understand or explain this definition scholars have given. So in the first one, religion is leading a good life. So according to the schoolgirl, morality is like religion. It's about doing the right thing and staying away from wrongdoing. So according to Cox, this point is trying to tell us that we are supposed to do what is right and desist from what is wrong. Basically, that's what Cox means. 2. Religion is morality touched with emotion. The second moral definition adds that human emotions must be part of morality. In this case, one must not only do the good and avoid the wrong, but also human feelings must go along with any moral act for it is to be called religion. So according to this point, one must not only do the good and avoid the wrong, but also human feelings must go along with any moral act for it to be called religion. So the act that you are doing, there should be a human feeling attached to the act. We should do the act with human feelings. So we should do the right thing with human feelings, not just because the law says or the code of conduct says we should do right. Now, religion is the recognition of all our duties as divine command. Kant's definition describes his categorical imperative, which holds that one must fulfill one's obligation only out of self-interest. It is also noted that morality, according to Kant, originates from a higher supernatural entity. So according to Immanuel Kant, one must fulfill his obligations only out of self-interest. So we are trying to say that the code of conduct or the obligation that members of the group are supposed to follow, they should follow out of self-interest, but not being forced. So they should do or they should go by their obligations out of self-will and self-interest. Religion is the sum of scruples which impede the free use of our faculty. So according to Cox, the fourth description presents religion negatively, since it forbids people from using their free will. It also makes clear that religion upholds moral standard. So according to Cox, religion is presented negatively, since it forbids people from using their free will. Now to the critique of the definitions. One strength of moral definitions emphasize good behavior in religion, guiding members towards ethical teachings and codes of conduct. These codes outline desirable and undesirable behavior, emphasizing the obligation for members to follow these guidelines. So one strength of the moral definition is that it comes out with a code of conduct, and this code of conduct ensures that members of the group or the society are living a desirable life and going against undesirable behavior. So it checks their way of life. But the basic weakness is that moral definitions create room for many phenomena to be considered as religion. The reason is that it is not only religion that ensures morality. One can be moral without necessarily being religious. So we are trying to say that it is not only religion that ensures morality. There are other firms or institutions that ensures morality. So taking into consideration all these institutions that ensures morality, are you trying to say that all these institutions are religion? Which means we are making room for many phenomena to be considered as religion, whereby it is not religion or they are not religion. Morality should be applied according to necessity rather than divine decree, according to ethicists. For instance, humanism emphasizes that good deeds are primarily motivated by other people's existence rather than by a heavenly decree. So morality should be applied according to necessity rather than divine decree. So people understand that humanism or ethicists, for instance, they believe that religion or morality should be about one's personal necessity rather than a divine decree or a supernatural deity sanctioning the order. It should come from the person instinctively. Now to our session summary. Moral definitions of religion have as their standard of measurement the existence of a code of conduct, either attributed or not attributed to a divine being. So according to the moral definitions, there is a code of conduct that members of the group are supposed to follow. Now this code of conduct could be attributed or not attributed to a divine being. However, it is observed that while morality is part of all religions, there can be morality without religion. So while morality is part of religion, we understand that morality is part of all religion. Each religion has its own moral ways, its own code of conduct. Yet there can be morality without religion. So this means that we can live our lives as moral people without the intervention of religion. Consequently, Moral definitions open the door too wide for phenomena that normally are not regarded to be religions to find their way into the fold of religion. We will discuss another group of definitions called the philosophical definitions in the next session, and I hope you enjoy this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.